Well, the Democrats completely tipped their hand this week. They got nothing. I could have told them that. Well, the fire plug himself, Jerry the Nads Nadler, forced Corey Lewandowski, one-time advisor to President Donald J. Trump, to come before his committee in Congress to answer questions as they begin the impeachment gathering process. It went so badly that even Democratic pundits on cable news talk shows, the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream propaganda media, it went so badly they couldn't even spin it. It went so badly they couldn't even keep a straight face trying to somehow project how well this went for the Democrats. You know why? Because it didn't go well for them. Not one bit. Not one iota. In fact, it went so badly, you now have key publications and news outlets very friendly to, shall we say, the Democratic hierarchy. That would be code for Nancy Botox Pelosi, Chuck E. Cheese Schumer, the delusionals who still think they're in charge of their party. They haven't realized that AOC and the squad and the ultra-liberal progressive leftist loons have taken over. Well, Nancy Botox Pelosi has given the signal, and there are now controlled leaks coming out, that because this attempted takedown of Trump and the beginning of impeachment went so badly, the way Corey Lewandowski literally mopped the floor with these people, they're now leaking it out purposely that impeachment talks are absolutely dead on arrival. So why is Jerry the Nads Nadler and other liberal Demloons, why are they pushing this? Why are failed presidential hopefuls like Swalwell, which sounds more like sewage, why are they, sitting there grinning, thinking they're winning when they're absolutely losing? Because here's the bottom line. The economy's doing well. Trump's poll numbers are up. And I know they like to talk about now, Elizabeth Warren, she's ahead in the polls. That would be the totem poll. The bottom line is they've got nothing to run on. They've got nothing to run on. Now, Rush Limbaugh is kind of throwing up, I call it a false sense of security, and that they got nothing to run on when it comes to the economy. All of their talk of recession, and the people aren't buying it. The American people aren't buying it. No. But the liberal elites who are on Wall Street, running our banks, running our lending institutions, and the never-Trumpers that are there with them, could they manufacture, create a recession? Sure they could. Start messing around with rates and interest and denying loans and foreclosing early. Sure, they could do all kinds of things to try to force or manipulate a recession. So we do still have to keep an eye on that. But overall, the Democrats, they've got nothing to run on. So they create this dog and pony show because, again, they can't let go of Russian collusion. And you know why? They spent nearly 3 years pushing this swill. They got nothing else to run on, so now it's like somebody who has been caught red-handed lying, caught red-handed stealing, and they really can't defend themselves. They really can't do an oops, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. So now they go all in. They tell you that what you're seeing, you're not seeing. What you heard them say, they didn't say. So they go all in. And so even though this whole Russian narrative has blown up on them and their savior, Robert Mueller himself, when he got before Congress, sounded like a doddering, drooling old fool, and it was obvious he knew nothing about his own report, Corey Lewandowski masterfully went in there, and all I could think of was it was like John Wayne in an old Western. I'm here to take you out, Pilgrim. And you know what? Lewandowski's funny. I didn't realize, but he's actually really funny. And you'll see an exchange here at the end between he and Swalwell, where, Swalwell keeps saying, why won't you read it? Why won't you read it out loud for us? Same reason Mueller wouldn't read anything that they put up on the screen out loud. He wasn't going to lend his voice to being their soundbite. And this just kind of frosted Swalwell a little bit that he couldn't get Corey to take the bait. But it shows you just how smart Corey is, how stupid, that what on earth did they think they were going to get? Now, if the thing that makes you mad in this, after you laugh at this, and how ridiculous they were, what makes you mad is there was an attempted coup of this president. A real coup, a real attempted takeout of this president. And what are these buffoons wasting our time with? This. Are they bringing the Inspector General in to testify? No. Are they bringing the Attorney General in to testify to talk about the coup? No. We're going to get hit with this, and now you've got the guy that looks like Tippy Turtle. You remember Tippy Turtle in the back of the TV guide? Hey, draw Tippy, send it in, and you could win free art lessons. Tippy Turtle, I have proof positive that President Trump engaged in collusion with Russia. Well, he's back. He's sensing he's got a new take on life, a new lease on life, because now they've got a staffer from inside the Trump White House that heard President Trump on a phone call say something to a foreign leader that could breach national security. Again, this is a nothing, and I'll tell you why. The president, as the commander-in-chief, can determine what is and is not national security. And even if the powers that be, the intelligence community, labels something as classified, top secret, do you know, just like that, the president can unclassify it, declare it not top secret. So him telling anything to a foreign leader, it's no breach. So this is another nothing burger. But from now until the election, they're going to keep trying to stir the pot because they got nothing, and they got to keep that radical nut base wound up and engaged. Otherwise, it really is going to be a bloodbath.
Okay, and which paragraph, sir?
I don't have it in front of me.
I'd like a reference, sir, so I can follow along on what they're asking.
Do you not have an independent recollection of whether you met with the president on that date?
Congressman, I'm just trying to find in the Mueller report where it states that.
Well, you have it in front of you. I gave you the page number.
Okay, where on page 90 is it, sir?
Mr. Chairman, you got to start the clock.
No, I don't have to start the clock when he's filibustering. Bottom of page 90.
Well, filibustering is a different issue. That's across the hall in the Senate. This is actual questions being done now.
Mr. Chairman, point of parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
That's not
The gentleman will state his point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, is it appropriate for a witness to refuse to answer a question and instead demand that we reference and point him to the... I'd ask that Mueller report be closed and the witness be directed to answer the question.
No, the answer is not appropriate, but it's on the bottom two lines of that page.
Now it can start. The clock can start now. There's a question.
Point of order. When will the clock start, Mr. Chairman?
Once the question's asked, Mr. Chairman, the clock should start.
Right under overview, second line.
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman, the witness.
Point of order.
The witness has the time and will
Point of
answer.
order is a
question. The witness
point of order
will answer
overrides
the question.
that. A point of order overrides that, Mr. Chairman, and you know that.
The gentleman will state his point of order.
Point of order is once the question has been asked and referenced properly to the witness to answer the question, the clock should start. It cannot be held while you and your counsel go over notes.
The gentleman is correct. The clock will start. And the witness will answer the question without further delay.
Yes, I see that in the report. I recognize that the privilege is not mine, but I've been asked by the White House to... Congressman, I'd be happy to answer your question, or you can just have a conversation by yourself. But if you'd like to ask me a question, I'll be happy to answer
I'm going to continue. The reason is
then don't ask me a question if you don't want to hear my answer.
I'm reclaiming my time. This is a House judiciary, not a House party.
So if you ask me a question, give me the opportunity to answer your question.
The very campaign the special counsel is investigating, I'd like my time restored, please, of his interruption. He called you in to do his dirty work in secret because he knew it was wrong. Well, we will expose the truth. The president cannot hide behind you any longer. And you should be here to be telling the truth, Lewandowski, because the truth will set you free and the American people. I yield back.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. The witness may answer the question.
I don't believe there was a question, Congressman.
Very well.
Yes, there was.
Could you repeat the question? I didn't hear it.
I'll be happy to repeat the
It's just
question.
a rant.
Can't repeat the question.
I'll be happy to repeat
The
the
gentlelady's
question.
time has expired.
You felt kind of squeamish, like that fish that you are trying to be right now, being scaled. You felt a little squeamish about delivering that message, correct?
No, sir.
Well, why didn't you? Why did it take you so long and you never even delivered it?
Correct. I never delivered the message.
Yeah, you chickened out.
I went on vacation.
You went on vacation. And so you put the message in the safe, in your home for safekeeping, correct? Before you went on vacation.
I took my kids to the beach, Congressman. That's more of a priority.
And President Trump was hounding you about when are you going to deliver that message, correct?
Completely inaccurate, Congressman.
Well, he asked you about it a few times, didn't he?
No, he did not.
Have you ever put any words that the president asked you to write down before in a safe? Or was this the first time you'd done that?
I believe it's my standard operating procedure when taking notes, Congressman.
So every note that you take of the president, you put in a safe? How big is that safe?
It's a big safe, Congressman. There's a lot of guns in there.
Mr. Lewandowski, I'm going to put a slide up, and it's the words that President Trump dictated to you on July 19. Can you read what you wrote down?
I'm happy to have you read it, Congressman.
Well, why don't you want to read it, Mr. Lewandowski?
I think you should afford me the same privilege you afforded Director Mueller.
Would you like to read it?
No, you're welcome to read it.
Are you ashamed of the words that you wrote down?
President Swalwell, I'm very happy of what I've written, but you're welcome to read it if you'd like.
Are you ashamed to read it out loud?
I'm not ashamed of anything in my life, Congressman. Are you?
Then why don't you read the words?
Congressman, I've asked and answered your
Mr.
question.
Lewandowski, why won't you read the words aloud?
I've asked and answered your question, Congressman. If you'd like to read the words, you're welcome to.
Well, you were ashamed to read them out loud, and you didn't deliver those words to the person the president asked you to. Did you have a consciousness of guilt?
I have nothing to be guilty of, Congressman. Thank you.
You still feel guilty today, and that's why you can't read it out loud?
Congressman, you're welcome to read the words if you'd like.
Well, I just wonder why you can't.
I have the capacity to, Congressman. I'll give you the privilege.
You said the president did nothing wrong. Why can't you read those words right now? Why can't you read them aloud?
Congressman, tell me why you hold me to a different standard than the previous witnesses who sat here.
Do you believe that Vladimir Putin is sitting in his office right now in the Kremlin, laughing at what those on the other side of the aisle are doing, and believing that those on the other side of the aisle are useful idiots helping?
Objection. I have a point of order.
The gentlelady will state her point of order.
I have a point of order. According to the rules, and the rules of this committee and the House rules, we cannot attribute derogatory names to our colleagues or motives to our colleagues. And I believe the gentleman said those on the other side of the aisle are idiots. This is a very sacred and somber responsibility. I've taken an oath of office, my good friend, just like you did. I am concerned about the Constitution just as you are, and I would not engage in any behavior that could be described as idiot. Never in my life or my colleagues have we ever discussed behaving like idiots.
I mean, actually, I didn't call anybody an idiot. I said useful idiot.
Useful idiot.
And secondly, I asked the witness whether he believed that as part of Vladimir Putin's strategy, Vladimir Putin was being aided by useful idiots in America.
So they keep playing these games. Corey Lewandowski mopped the floor with him. He was absolutely spot on, brilliant in the way he handled these buffoons. And you know what? At the very end, yeah, this is the real Russian interference right now. The fact that you've got Vlad Putin and everybody over in Russia watching this, just laughing that these are the leaders we used to be afraid of. This is the country we used to be in awe of. This is ridiculous. These clowns, and these clowns want to run everything. They want to be president. Frightening, isn't it? And so they have to keep the base stirred up by, we're going to get Trump, we're going to get Trump. Otherwise, the turnout for Trump is going to be so huge, and his reelection will be such a landslide, he's even going to take California. and they can't let that happen. So they're going to keep this narrative up. They're going to keep stirring the pot, hoping beyond hope that you're just too stupid to figure out they got nothing. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and a like. Share this to your social media platforms. If you're a subscriber here, thanks so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. Hey, tell your friends about what goes on here. Hey, tell some liberals you know about what goes on here. And for those of you that might be kind of on the fence about becoming a subscriber, please go ahead, jump on in. The water's fine. And make sure you smack the bell for my next rant.